One of the things I wanted to share as we've just gone into spring on Saturday, February the 1st, and of course, you won't be told that spring has begun because in the media, for some reason, the date has shifted along 6 weeks to the spring equinox. But February the 1st in the pagan calendar was always the beginning of spring. And you can see that because the snowdrops are popping up. Other bulbs are starting to send green shoots up, getting ready to flower. And so it is with our body, in that the liver levels up and starts to become the main player in the Chinese five elements to help our body detox from winter and move into spring. And I discovered a fascinating thing when I looked in my diary for last year, because last week I had a cold and I thought to myself, well, it must be about at least a year since I had a cold. And I looked back, and sure enough, exactly the same week last year, just before the beginning of spring, my body manifested a cleanse. And again, something that we're taught to believe these days in the media is that acute illness is something that you catch. Um, a cold, a flu, or whatever you want to call a flu, but I call it a flu, is something that must be suppressed generally so that you can get back to work, you can get back to school, you can get back to whatever it is you're doing. And good grief, the body should not be allowed to have a little clear out of all the mucus and wastes, sweat, whatever orifice or route of elimination, as I like to call them, is having, joining in the cleanse. That we don't allow that. And so, what I'd like to say from a naturopathic perspective is that acute events like colds and flu are really important because they do allow your body to clear waste that it needs to be rid of. And if ever we take antibiotics or painkillers or some such medication, what we're doing is pushing the wastes back in and suppressing the body's ability to cleanse. And what I would like to say is, let's get our bodies into a state whereby they can enjoy and join in full-heartedly with the cleanse that's come, and get rid of all that snot and sweat and the lot, with all the wastes that leave alongside that from the body, and have a great sweep clean, because your body then going forward is in a better position to thrive. And so to that end, I'm just going to announce that I'm beginning another spring detox, and that will be starting in a couple of weeks. And if you'd like to hop on board, then please let me know. It'll be a 6-week process, and that will be cleaning up the diet, cleaning up, the lifestyle, so that by the time you get to the end of the 6 weeks, then we're going to be in a position for the body to really let go and sweep clean. And we'll be using juices to nourish the body and really alkalize the cells and support their cleanse. And we'll also be using the naturopathic detox techniques to make it a comfortable process and to help your body prepare for the year ahead in a much better position. Because the spring is the natural time for detoxification, and your body will be really grateful to be given the opportunity to have a cellular sweep clean. So I'll bring some details out soon. Each week there'll be information gathering exercise that we share to help you get motivated and really inspired to help your body and make those changes. And then, as I say, at the end of the 6 weeks, it'll be going up to a new moon that we work with the detox itself. So I'll be in touch about that very, very soon. And in the meantime, if you have any acute illness, then the first piece of advice that I give, and what is an acute? Well, an acute is an illness that should be short-lived. And, you produce lots of mucus, you produce lots of sweat, perhaps, maybe the digestive system goes into overdrive, but with a cold, generally, it's a sweep clean from the upper respiratory system. But if the lower respiratory tract is getting involved, then we know that things are going deeper in. It's going in the wrong direction, really, because we want it all to clear from here. And so what I'd like to do is make a few suggestions. And the first one is do rest. That is the most important thing that you can do for your body. Don't try and carry on, with the usual lifestyle. Take out anything drying if you can. Switch over to light soups, homemade broths, soups. If you're usually having a full meat diet, switch down to fish, switch down to pulses. Keep the diet very, much more alkaline. Lots and lots of veg. You can pop the odd juice in there because that will be nice and nourishing. Eat less, rest more. Get a bit of fresh air every day if you can. And also things like linseed tea are very supportive because they help the body stay hydrated. I mean, just thinking of mucus, when when mucus is leaving your body, there's a lot of water leaving your body. And that is very, very drying because your body's having to use that water to sweep the wastes clear. So keep very hydrated. Keep on with the linseed tea because that is double hydration in a gloop. And to, like I said, increase veggies. You've only got to cut a vegetable open and look inside it, and you can see the water there brimming, ready to, as it's packed in a very mineralized alkaline form, ready to offer your cells absolute nectar. And then, of course, keep most of that warm, maybe the odd small juice, but keep the diet warm. And if you don't feel like eating, then have a little fast because, your body will thank you for that. But, nice light broths, nice light soups, veggie stews, those kind of things, nice fish stews in small quantities are about what I would recommend because there's the old saying, isn't there? If you feed a cold, you'll have to starve a fever later. And so don't, try and keep all the stodge out and just really let your body carry on that cleansing process that it's wanting to go through. And so things like, really natural things like Epsom salts baths, Epsom salts foot baths can be very comforting. Only 20 minutes, you don't need any longer. And then things like castor oil packing to help the liver cleanse. Again, no longer than an hour. And things like, hot mustard foot baths, all the old naturopathic techniques are there ready to help support the body through a cleanse. And well worthwhile thinking about and taking action with if you have an acute. But the first thing and the last thing is rest. Because if your body is manifesting an acute, that is what it is asking for. It's asking for a rest alongside the cleanse. So look after you and let me know if you're interested in the detox. Thank you.